Hey guys, this is a market update. A few videos ago, I said we were playing a game of chicken against the Fed. Who was going to chicken out first? I certainly did not. Fed Chair Powell's allies provide opening for December rate cut. He said he wasn't going to cut. He's wrong. He's late. Doesn't have a good read on the market. Never has done, right? Absolutely terrible. They were playing a game of chicken and they got it completely wrong. The longest government shutdown in history in the US. The admin said it was a 1.5% hit to GDP. Unemployment rate ticking higher, participation rate ticking higher, and this guy is pretending to be hawkish again. He's an absolute joke and absolute embarrassment. He should be embarrassed of his performance. Has no read on the market whatsoever. But they're going to cut in December, most likely now. And that's because that shutdown was very, very negative to GDP, jobs, inflation, spending, etc. So the market told him that. And to be fair, he corrected course. So they're going to cut in December now, and it'll probably absolutely hilarious when they call it a hawkish cut. Like, what does that even mean? You've cut interest rates, but you're really hawkish, yeah? It's just an absolute clown show that we're living in. But look, what you're afraid of now with Bitcoin? Are you afraid of a 30% drawdown from the all-time high? Happened already. Are you afraid of underperformance for a year? Happened already. Bitcoin is the outperforming asset versus NASDAQ, S&P, and so when it underperforms, that's when you make the returns. So things look good. And by the way, I don't think the market is going to crash. You've got the admin here in the US. I think someone came out, I think it was David Sachs, saying AI is basically an issue of national security at this point. So what that means is we are putting all of our weight, right? One of the most powerful, if not the most powerful government in the world, is the most powerful government in the world, is telling you we are putting everything towards this massive AI build out, infrastructure, energy, everything else. You think markets are going to go down? Yes, the market is extremely concentrated. Oh no, that's really bearish. If it wasn't happening, everyone would say the market has no leaders, it's really bearish. Don't listen to doomers, don't listen to bears, right? They never make any money, right? They sound very clever for like a 6-week period, but the reality is, if you're long this asset, you've outperformed virtually everything else, right? You have to be long, you have to buy it when you're underperforming or when the price is very weak in comparison to the other indexes. That's where the returns come. If you do trade crypto, $30,000 deposit bonus to Bybit. I'll link that down in the description below. Trueflation has the inflation rate at 2.37. That's for CPI. For PCE, 2.31. I don't think these are really hot numbers in inflation. Oil is in the 50s, right? Deregulation coming. It's regulation and money printing that creates all of this inflation. And that's going to be coming next year, which isn't necessarily a bad thing because you've got the Fed looking backwards, as they always do. Rents are coming down because, to put it bluntly, millions of people have left the US, right? Millions of human beings have left, which means rents come down, right? That's deflationary. In fact, a lot of Trump's policies are actually deflationary. When you think about it, tariffs are deflationary because they're an increased tax. So money supply gets sucked out of the system. So you have less money chasing goods. Some prices go up. Some prices get more expensive because of the tax or whatever, and then to keep margins, they put prices up. But if you have higher tax, you're taking currency out of the supply, and so you have less currency to chase goods. Inflation actually comes down. I've showed you the data of that in previous videos. So a lot of Trump's policies are actually deflationary. Deregulation, oil's come down, deflationary stuff. Now next year, they're going to pump it into the midterms. They're giving every child born, I think, $1,000 invested into the S&P. That's absolutely outrageous. Right, that is literally taking money and just pumping it into the market, and they can't sell it until they're 18 or something. I mean, that's just outrageous, guys. Right? That really is. That is unbelievable. But you think markets are going to go down when the government is literally buying the S&P, right? And then you have the $2,000 tax rebate or whatever it is that may not get through, right? I don't know if that's actually going to happen, but they want to pump things into midterms. That's inflationary, yes, but next year the Fed, they're so late. They're going to be looking at rents, which feeds into CPI, which are going to continue to come down, right? I think that's a pretty good setup, to be honest. And I think it's a much better setup with Bitcoin in the 80s, hopefully even the 70s, right? This kind of washout, and everyone's scared, right? Because everyone's like right now, but then you're looking forward 6 months saying that is actually a pretty good setup. So, I mean, I think things are okay. The evidence is clear. The Fed is asleep at the wheel. They need to cut. This is government current expenditures, interest rates. Wow. And it's all on the short end as well. And so the neutral rate, R star, is 2.75%. The overnight rate's 4%. They're just offside. They're just so offside. And you can see, forget the market, because it's all AI, right? literally interest rate insensitive. Couldn't care what interest rates are. The rest of the market is struggling. Housing market struggling, right? So if you cut interest rates, then you can broaden out this market and actually put some money back in people's pockets. And then markets do even better as they broaden out as well. So this is the momentum of the Sharpe ratio. Look, Bitcoin has underperformed, which is strange considering we're near all-time highs. It's a really, really strange market for the data because we've been in a kind of a we've been at a high price for a very long time. Bitcoin usually explodes for kind of a short period and then just retracts. This is totally different. This has been a high price sideways for a very long time. And market tops in Bitcoin have never really appeared like that. And so all the data has kind of reset and it looks really bearish. But look, the Sharpe ratio down here, right? I know Bitcoin has been weak, it's underperformed, but look at every other time where the Sharpe ratio is weak, right? You buy, it basically dips, right? Buy dip. The things are going up at like 30% a year, 40% a year. So you buy dips, right? Every dip here was literally local bottoms, perfect buying, and we're in one again. So I'm just really positive and I just don't buy into all the doomerism. Look at this beautiful chart as well, right? The Bitcoin growth rate over time is really nothing to worry about. Now, for my trades, I think it's just really simple. I'm going to buy Bitcoin as much as I can, especially when it's weak. If we're at trend, if we're slightly above trend, or if we're below trend, I'll be buying. And I'll just wait until some point at which we are above the trend significantly. That's when I can let my trades go. I don't know when that's going to happen. I don't know the prices or anything, but that doesn't matter. I'll buy when we're at or below trend. And if we're significantly above trend, I'll sell. The price and when that happens, I don't know. I can stay in these trades forever. It doesn't matter. We were getting close to it at 125 earlier this year, but we didn't really get massively overbought. And so carry on, right? Just carry on and wait. Patience is definitely the virtue here. Look, in this story, we know that there was definitely an attack on MSTR strategy. And it is what it is. That's what markets do. I was in markets for a bit. They're disgusting. They're abhorrent, right? The behavior that goes on. But look, to be fair to these banks, they have a duty to their shareholders to literally destroy all their competition, right? And so what else choice would you make? If you're in a business, you have someone else that's maybe going to take your customers away, you have to defend yourself. So I kind of get it. These banks, now strategy is different, but what strategy you're trying to do is create basically an old school gold-backed bank, a gold-backed credit institution. Now, they're not a bank, so they don't take customer deposits or anything, but this is not a new strategy. Rothschilds, the old JP Morgan, they would take gold and issue credit against the gold. That's what strategy are doing. And their STRC product is very successful. It is trading more and more and more volume because you give them $100 per share and they tell you they're going to give you 10% back in cash. They invest in Bitcoin and they take the CAGR on the back end, right? Now, that's not the same as a bank deposit. I get that, right? It is different. But there's definitely money coming out of these US banks going into STRC, right? And so these banks have to fight back. And they're going to fight back with all the dirty tricks, MSCI, trying to push it out of the indexes, even though, you know, what they're saying for the reasons is ridiculous. But it is what it is, right? These are the games that are played. Wouldn't worry about it. That strategy anyway, I mean, look, Bitcoin is the asset. Strategy is one company, so you've got to keep it as a smaller part of a portfolio, right? But look, this is what's going to happen. JP Morgan dumps 25 of their MSTR right before MSCI announces Bitcoin companies can't enter major indexes. So this also doesn't matter. Like if you look at the most invested indexes, especially at BlackRock, which is the leading provider, and others, most of it is S&P and NASDAQ, which is nothing to do with MSCI indexes. MSCI is like long tail, third-rate player. And it is what it is because, yeah, there is money that flows in passively to MSTR through these. So it would be a shame. But you have to expect TradFi, when they get attacked, they're going to fight back, right? It's just totally normal. But the reality is strategy is a large part of the second order effects of Bitcoin for sure. But the Bitcoin they hold isn't going to get called or anything like that. Right now, a company can mismanage themselves and go into bankruptcy. I'm not saying that's going to happen to a strategy. There's lots of things that could happen. That's why you put most of your portfolio in indexes or the Bitcoin itself, and not derivatives of. But it's just normal part of business, right? It's normal volatility as well, which creates massive opportunities when prices fall. And you always have to go into BTC when it's underperforming because that's where all the returns come. If you trade crypto, get the deposit bonus to Bybit up to $30,000 in via the link in the description. I'm James, it's Money's EG. Cheers for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.